Hello. I'm going to give you the evidence that will prove to you beyond a reasonable doubt that you will live on happy and healthy after your body dies. I'm Dr. R. Craig Hogan, President of the Afterlife Research and Education Institute, author, co-author, or editor of 10 books containing the evidence we are spiritual beings who live on after we've left our bodies behind. The evidence is in these videos. Imagine you're sitting in a room with 7 or 8 people and the lights go out. After a while, you hear someone calling your name, but it isn't any of the people sitting in the room calling. It's someone you love whose body has been dead for several months. This is what it actually sounded like when someone not present in the group of people named Nick called out to talk to his love sitting in the room, Sarah.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. You're okay.
Yes, you're okay.
You're okay, you're fine.
It's okay.
It's okay.
You're
safe.
everything's fine. You're amongst friends. You're
amongst
okay.
friends, yeah.
Just remain calm.
Just relax.
Relax.
It's okay.
It's just a bit strange. Yeah.
It is strange, but it's
all
all
right.
right.
You just
Well,
take
it's
a moment to adjust.
Well, it's wonderful that you have.
Can you tell us who you are?
It's Nick.
It's Nick.
Hello, Nick.
Hi, Nick.
Baby.
Yes,
Here to see
Sarah's here.
Sarah.
Darling, I'm here. Sarah, speak up to him.
Nick's body had been dead for several months. Sarah had to say her goodbyes at his funeral, yet here he was, speaking to her. He wasn't very good at using the voice box people in seances must use to communicate. His voice box was in a coffin somewhere. He had to use what spirit energy made available as a voice mechanism, into which he sent his thought words. He could only manage to make it speak in a whisper. But Sarah knew it was Nick.
Nick? Yeah, I can, darling. I love you, baby. I love you so much. I love you. Don't ever leave me, okay? I know you're with me.
As much time with you as I can, I'm always going to be there.
Okay, my baby, just stay close. I love you so much, and you know how grateful I am for you doing this.
You know all those things that you've bought.
Yeah,
They're gone, they was just lost.
yeah,
They were lost.
yeah.
Don't worry about them. I
Really?
knew you was there. I knew you was there.
Did you, darling? Was I enough for you? I just...
Listen to me, we haven't got long. Listen to me.
Okay, my baby.
Always remember,
Yeah,
I love you with all my heart.
okay.
I told you that just before I left you.
I know.
I'll always be with you. Always be with you.
Okay, my darling.
Promise me something.
Yes.
I want you to be happy.
I will for you. I will for you. I'll make the best of what I've got here. For you.
Remember, whatever happens, we'll always be together or we meet again.
You promised me that.
I promise you.
You,
From
yeah.
the bottom of my heart, I promise you.
Okay, my darling.
I want you to be happy.
I will try. I am trying. I'm trying so hard. It's just such a shock, you know. But I'm trying hard. I'm doing better. I'm doing better, darling.
You're good. I know you're good. You're doing fantastic.
As long as I've got you with me, and I know I do. I just hope I've done enough for you.
Yes, you did. You was everything I ever wanted.
I was. I'm good. I just wanted to be enough.
That's why I died peacefully.
You. Oh, thank goodness.
That's why I had that look of peace on my face.
Yes. Did you see me when I went to see you?
I didn't think you put me in the coffin. I saw it all.
Oh, thank you, darling. I tried to do right by you. I tried to do everything I could. I really tried hard.
You done more than any man could ever want. More than any man could ever want.
Okay, my baby, because you know you were worth it. You don't ever doubt how much I loved you. and how much I will continue to love you. Don't ever doubt that.
I really like that for you.
Okay, my baby. Oh, I love you. I love you.
You okay, Sarah?
Yeah.
Good.
Nick's body had died, but he was very much alive. It was Nick, his personality, his love for Sarah, his knowledge of things she had done after his body died, and his heartfelt message that he would always love her, and assurance that they would be together in the future. The 7 or 8 other people all witnessed the events. It proved to Sarah that Nick was still alive. This recording is proof for us in the same way. Sarah and the group of people received no money for the recording. They had no reason to fake it. Our bodies will die, but we will never die. We will be able to spend time with our loved ones still living on earth. And if we can find a talented medium or materialization medium, we will be able to speak with our loved ones. Nick could come back because the experience was the working of spirit with a materialization medium named David Thompson. Materialization mediums have the energy and ability to enable people living in the life after this life to materialize and speak, just as Nick had materialized and spoken to Sarah. Now imagine a different situation. You're sitting in a group of 30 people lining the walls of a small room. At one end is David Thompson, the materialization medium, sitting in a cabinet, bound to a wooden chair with zip ties and gagged. You hear someone who wasn't among the people who came into the room say, "Is your name?" And he says your name. You say yes, and he says, "There's someone who wants to talk to you." That's what happened to afterlife communication researcher Sonia Rinaldi, sitting in a seance with materialization medium David Thompson.
Yes,
Is your name Sonia?
yes, yes.
There's a man that wants to speak to you, Mrs.
Oh,
His name is... Hold on. Oh, he wants to tell you his name himself.
he's going to tell you his name. Thank you.
Sonia had no idea who wanted to speak to her from the beyond. She was surprised and delighted to learn who it was. The materialized man came forward, stood before her in the dark, and spoke.
Sonia Rinaldi,
Yes.
my name is Constantine Radovan.
Oh, Mr. Howard, thank you for your presence. Thank you.
The pioneering researcher in afterlife communication using electronic devices like recorders, named Konstantin Raudova, was standing before her, speaking to her. But this was 2014, and his body had been buried in 1974. Sonia immediately recognized his name because of her research in using electronic devices. He had communicated to her for several months that he was working with her from the other side, helping her advance her work.
I want you to know that I am working with you a lot of the time.
He's working with you a lot of the time. Oh, thank you. I'm sorry, sometimes I don't understand quite well, but Sherry is helping me.
What proof is there that this is in fact Konstantin Raudova? For one thing, the medium was strapped to a chair with tape over his mouth and the voice sounded nothing like the medium's voice. For another, the medium couldn't know Sonia's work with Raudova or anything technical having to do with Sonia's work. And the speaker spoke with a distinctly Latvian accent. Sonia had no doubts about who was speaking to her.
I want you to know that there is a problem with the communication.
There's a problem with
Please
the communication. Yes, is there anything that I can do?
Yes,
Sure, please tell me.
you need
Yes,
to create
yes.
an electrical current between
An
two capacitors.
Create electrical current with two capacitors. Yes.
Raudova had given Sonia technical information only she and Raudova would have understood. Sonia tells him she called him Mr. German when he first came through in her recordings because she didn't know who was speaking, just someone with a German accent. She continued their conversation.
Yes, if you can help me to reach this, I'll try all the way.
I will try. I will bring word through your communication channels, and I will help you. And we will accomplish many things together.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I'll do anything that I can.
Yes, I know, and that is why I come to work with you often.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You know that I call you Mr. German, right?
You can call me what you wish.
Okay, thank you.
Sonia Rinaldi had no doubt she was speaking to a man whose body had been dead for 44 years. He shared information about their work together, only he would know. He gave her technical information relevant to her work. He spoke in the same German-like accents. Konstantin Raudova lived on with his knowledge, personality, and interest in doing research, although his body had died. It was proof to Sonia that we continue to live after the body dies. It is also proof for you and me that we will continue to live after our bodies die. There are thousands of such materializations of people known to the sitters in the room who materialize and speak about issues only the two would know about. They prove people live on after the body dies. In a seance on September 2nd, 2004 with medium David Thompson, a psychical researcher named Montague Keene materialized for a group of sitters who all knew and worked with him until his passing 8 months before. They knew who had come into the room.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Am I speaking clearly?
Yes, you are. Yeah.
Excellent.
You know who it is, don't you?
Monty.
Of course it's Monty. Are you here, Guy?
Yes, I'm over here.
Oh, good. I'm so glad that you were able to be here.
Well, me too.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes. And is that you, son?
Yes, it is.
They managed to get here.
Yes, they did. Yes.
Fantastic.
It's wonderful to hear you, Monty.
Does my voice sound clear?
It does.
Yes,
Very good.
Very good, yes.
You mastered it very well.
Well, it's taken me a little bit of time.
That's right, Monty.
It's
Yeah?
taken me a little bit of time to get it just right.
Yes.
Monty shared with Guy Playfair information known only to the researchers, including the secret address of a haunting at a place called Enfield they had investigated together. Monty shares that since his entry into the spirit world, he has learned what was creating the haunting and shares it with Guy.
Now, I have a few things that I want to say
Okay.
Yeah.
to you all. First of all, Guy,
Hello?
it's not like Enfield, is it?
Not yet, no. I'm sure you'll do your best.
You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Indeed, yeah.
It's nothing like Enfield.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Do you know, I've investigated since I've been over here regarding Enfield, Green Street. I've investigated. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
And I have to say that you was right in your assumptions. That it was the young girl, Janet. It was her pituitary gland coming into sexual awareness, puberty, that was creating the phenomena.
Yes, it did coincide with her.
Well, I can tell you that that's what it was. And now, I understand that you're going to talk at my day of memory.
Yes, indeed.
It seems so silly to say a day of memory. But I'm still here, doesn't it?
That's right, Monty, yes.
Yes.
Montague Keene's body had been dead for several months, yet he materialized alive, joking, and sassy. He shared information with the sitters who knew him. They carried on a normal conversation. Monty's performance proves that he, like you and I, continues to live after the body dies. These three speakers, Nick, Konstantin Raudova, and Montague Keene, all materialized in the room and spoke with people who knew them. They acknowledged that the person speaking was the person they knew well, or in Sonia's case, she had been working with Raudova from the other side. These conversations are proof they have continued to live after their bodies died, and are proof we will all live on after our bodies cease to be of use to us. You will never die.